Hi, my name is ZaKaiRan, and welcome to another one of my outrageously amazing, insanely enlightening master keys of creation about how to be the unlimited source master of divine creation you truly are, to create the joy, love, well-being, and abundance you desire. Come visit me at ZaKaiRan.com for more self-empowering goodies to help you become a conscious, deliberate creator of reality and have a shitload of fun on planet Earth. So here we go. Diversity, the essence of creation. A master key to your liberation and empowerment. Diversity is the essence of creation, not unity. Because of humanity's false belief in separation, that we are somehow separate from each other and are separate and inferior to God, they invented an extremely erroneous belief that we need to think, act, and even look all the same to impress that supposedly superior God. They decided that there must be a right way to think, believe, and act and look, because they lost their own inner ability to guide themselves. And so they looked towards religions and prophets to guide them to this supposed right way to appease the gods, who they also theorized had control over them and over everything, because it appeared that they had no control over their own realities, especially since it appears that outside forces assert their will upon us, not knowing, of course, that they do in fact create their own realities. But they instead gave all their power of creation away to an external force that seems to be all-powerful, or they gave their power away to other forces, human forces, demonic forces, whatever that force is. Now, unity is a given because we are all source. It's expressing itself as the infinite diversity of life. But humans have forgotten this fact. But deep down, everyone knows that unity exists, but they don't know how to feel that unity. They disconnected themselves from that unity by thinking most of the time about unwanted things, or a lot of the time about unwanted things. And so they created politics and religions and rules and commandments and quests and inquisitions and wars to try and force that unity into physical reality and try to force it upon society to create some sort of peace, some sort of unity, and again to, I guess, please God. But no matter how many groups of people try and unify themselves into clans of agreement, there's always 1,000 more groups trying to unify themselves based on what they believe is the right way. But the major problem is there is no such thing as a right way. There is no such thing as a vindictive, jealous, insecure God who needs therapy and who is controlling everything and demanding that everyone think, believe, act, and look the same. And even if there was some sort of right way to think, believe, and act, and etc., well, that would basically destroy creation. That would destroy infinity, because creation is infinite in nature, not finite in nature, not limited in nature. It is unlimited in nature. And so you cannot limit any part of creation, because if you do, it cannot evolve and grow. So it would eventually decay and die, which is the essence of everyone's fascination with the so-called apocalypse, because it appears that we are not evolving because we keep doing the same old crap every new generation, the same old wars, the same old dramas. But even though it may appear at times that we are stuck in an eternal rut, well, that is only appearance based on where you are focused. If you watch the news, then all seems lost because drama sells tickets, because people's lives are so fucking boring that humans will do anything to feel something, even if it's feel bad. But if you can stop looking at the lost boys and girls of the world who have forgotten their eternal, infinite, unlimited magnificence and look towards the people who are remembering their eternal, awesome magnificence, then you can see and feel that we are all right on track towards the creation of a completely new and extremely amazing world. And that is a world of diversity, not some bastardized version of unity where we are all clones of each other who think, believe, look, and act the same. It's time for humanity to wake up and start thinking for themselves rather than just being zombie clones spewing out what they've been told to think and believe. But it is not possible for anyone to guide themselves in a divine way until they start focusing in positive directions. Because the key to humanity's liberation from its own self-imposed prison is the ability to listen and feel their own clarity, which comes from their own source, which is only available if and when humanity thinks in positive, unlimited ways about things that they like, love, appreciate, and want more of. Because anytime anyone thinks in limited, judgmental ways about unwanted, undesirable things, they disconnect themselves from their own source guidance. The guidance that they actually want and desire, because source does not ever think or focus in limited, judgmental, negative ways. And of course, when you think in negative, judgmental ways, you can't feel your own source guidance. You're thinking in the opposite direction. So humans who believe God to be a judgmental God shoot themselves in their own feet because that immediately disconnects them from the God they desire to emulate. And so they dream up all kinds of bullshit about God so they can feel more certain to try and put a Band-Aid on the extreme uncertainty they feel from disconnecting themselves from the clarity of God's source that they would have if they just thought in more positive, unlimited ways rather than limited, judgmental ways. The core of humanity's problem stems from its resistance and denial of its own divine nature. We are spirits having human experiences. We are not humans trying to have spiritual experiences. Humans erroneously believe that they are somehow stuck down here in their bodies, and they were cast out of heaven, and they're being punished, and now we must prove our worthiness to get back into heaven. None of which is true. We all 100% consciously chose to be here for the amazing experience of creating something from nothing and the inspiration that contrast and diversity provides. The diversity of good stuff and the diversity of bad stuff, or more accurately described as the diversity of wanted things and unwanted things. Humans ignorantly try to get rid of unwanted things instead of just creating wanted things. They do that, of course, because they don't understand that they can create anything they want just by focusing on what they want. Since they don't understand that, they have theorized that there is a force of evil trying to keep them from getting what they want, or is trying to tempt them down the path of evil. Once again, a pack of complete falsehoods based on their lack of understanding that when you focus in negative ways, you attract more negative things. And if you don't understand that, well, then you might believe that evil forces are imposing their will upon you, or benevolent forces are imposing their goodwill upon you to teach you lessons, or imposing bad things upon you to teach you lessons. But no one is teaching you any lessons but yourself. And the lesson is, whatever you focus upon, positive or negative, you will attract more things that are similar in vibration to that, whether you want it or not. If you focus on wanted things or unwanted things, either way, you'll get more of whatever end of the wanted and unwanted stick that you are focused upon. So in regards to a right way to believe, act, or think, well, it's completely up to you, because whichever direction you choose, you'll attract more of that. And the universe will show you that whatever you believe is the right way. You are correct, at least for you. And at least until you decide to change your mind because you desire something else or you want something else. And the key to knowing if you're focused in the most divine direction is, how does it feel to think, believe, and act that way? Does it feel good? Well, then keep acting that way. Keep thinking that way. Keep talking that way, because that is the same direction. That is the same positive, abundant-oriented, unlimited-oriented direction that your source is focused. Or if it feels bad, well, then just stop thinking that way. Stop believing and acting that way. Because the reason it feels bad is because your own source self, your own unlimited, infinite source self, is not focused in that limited, judgmental, doubtful way. Humans are completely missing the boat when it comes to diversity. Their false judgments and their ludicrous, limited, judgmental beliefs that we should all think alike and believe the same way and want the same things and look the same way, etc. Well, they are missing out on the joyful, delicious, fun, unique, creative diversity of individuality and God's source expressing itself through those countless expressions. Of course, the key to humanity's misunderstanding is not knowing that they are source and believing that they are made out of something ungodly, which of course is absolutely ludicrous. Even the old history book, the Bible, said we were made in God's image. That, of course, means that we are God's stuff, not human stuff. Because God's source is not a vindictive control freak with a white beard who needs us to believe certain ways and act certain ways and follow certain rules to keep him happy. Source is all creation. Nothing is outside of source, and nothing was created by some sort of anti-God. There's no such sort of source of evil created by the anti-God, aka the devil. Source is 100% unlimited in nature, which means we are unlimited in nature. But humans imagine themselves to be limited and faulty and sinful, and so they apply these limitations to God as well. But how could God be limited? How could God be conditional in nature? How could God be jealous and insecure and angry? That all those ludicrous conditional ways, limited ways, defeat the entire concept of God. And of course, judgment is limited in nature, so it makes no sense for God to be judgmental, especially to be judgmental of its own creations. Source does not need us to act in certain ways to keep it happy. It doesn't need therapy. God doesn't need therapy. Doesn't have a codependent relationship with us. We have a codependent relationship with God, but that's another story. So Source does not need us to think or believe or act in any certain ways to keep it happy, like our parents do and did and taught us to act in that way as children. That's just another faulty human perception and projection that we picked up as children to keep them, keep from getting punished by mommy and daddy, and to get them to like us and love us and approve of us. And Source never ever gave us some sort of set of commandments or rules and regulations to follow. Those were 100% invented by humans afraid of being spanked by Big Daddy. Well, really, the Big Ten came from a very insecure, very limited extraterrestrial with over sense of importance and extreme arrogance, with a penchant for needing to be worshipped as a god. But that is another story. Bum, 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 bum. Just check out my various ET-oriented ancient archaeology videos and podcasts. The big point is commandments, rules, regulations, judgments, etc. are all designed to try and create some sort of fucked up physical, mental, and spiritual unity, which can never ever be, because infinite diversity is the pure essence of Source and creation, not some sort of bastardized version of unity designed to keep an insecure extraterrestrial overlord happy. Boom! That was a freaking sentence. Homogeny is limited in nature and completely contrary to the unlimited nature and source of creation. If homogeny was somehow necessary, then why would we all look differently and think differently and perceive reality differently and have so many unique desires? Why would every snowflake be different? Why would every plant and every animal be unique and different? We are all sovereign beings who have been granted 100% free will by our own Source selves to think, believe, and perceive reality in our own unique ways. We were not designed to think, believe, desire, act, or look like anyone else. We are all unique, precious gems with the full power to create anything we desire. And we are all designed by ourselves, so to speak, to have a unique perception of reality. No one can perceive reality the way we do, no matter how many miles or kilometers you walk in someone's moccasins. Creation is 100% about diversity playing together in unity. Did you get that? Creation is 100% about diversity playing together in unity. It's one big party. Humans limit themselves and imprison themselves in the false ideals of homogeny and some sort of false identity, a false idea of unity. Same bastardized ideal of unity that has generated countless wars and suffering from people trying to fit into religious and political molds that they were not ever designed to fit into, and never feels good to try to fit yourself into. And humanity's liberation lies in letting all of those false ideals of unity, quote unquote, that are ironically based in the false idea of separation, and embrace divine diversity. Humans need to learn how to delight in the fascinating diversity of life and creation, and the diverse faces and bodies and desires and beliefs and interests, etc., that exists with humans and all creatures and nature, etc. Humans need to connect to their own divine guidance and clarity and knowing that is available from their own Source self, that is always guiding them to goodness, abundance, and joy, and all good things. Then They will no longer need to look to other humans or to religions or to politics or to clergy or prophets or to gods for certainty and clarity of how to think and believe and desire and act. And of course, release the false belief in an insecure, jealous, insecure, I already said insecure, well, I guess I have to say it again, a judgmental God, because it's bullshit. God's source is the complete opposite. God's source is the pure essence of unconditional love, not conditional love. God's source doesn't say, I'll love you if you do this and do that and act this way and act that way. But if you don't, I'm not going to love you. I'm going to send you to eternal hellfire. It's such crap. I can't believe humans still believe that. It's just amazing. Anyway, and that God source is within us all. Well, we are all that God source. And that God source within is easily found as soon as anyone, as someone, as one lets go of all the 10,000 million thoughts and limited thoughts and connects to feeling and the heart and to love. Humanity's liberation lies in finally letting go of the childish belief in a judgmental God who has control of our fate and has a set of specific rules that we must follow, or we're in the royal shit. But the great thing about creation is, even though there is no such thing as a judgmental God and hell and eternal punishment, we all have the free will to believe that load of bullshit if we choose. And God doesn't judge us for it. How about that? That's funny. And whatever you believe to be true, the entire universe will rearrange itself to prove to you that you're right. That's how powerful you are. And that proves that Source is unconditional in nature, because you can believe an entire load of donkey dung, and the unconditional law of attraction will prove to you that you're totally right, even though you're totally wrong. Whoa, wrap your head around that one. And the law of attraction will unconditionally give you whatever you are focused upon, whether it is divine truth or a complete pile of male bovine excrement. Regardless, you can play any game you like because you are the creator of your unique, diverse universe based upon your unique perception of life and your unique desires and your unique beliefs. The unlimited nature of the universe is completely able to accommodate an infinite number of beliefs and perceptions about life and creation. Think about that. That means however many zillions of beings there are in the countless universes, that's how many universes there are, basically. Everyone has their own universe. Think about that. Every individual is the center. They are the God, so to speak. They are the center of their own unique divine universe. And all of the universe of universes revolves around each unique, priceless individual. And no individual human or extraterrestrial or animal or plant or bug or microbe is any more or less important or more or less divine than anyone or anything else. Everything is Source. Nothing is separate from Source. Boom! Mic drop. That just shattered one of the binding forces of conflict and destruction on this planet. The false belief, nay, the blatant lie, the malarkey, the bollocks that anyone or anything is more or less important or more or less divine than anything or anyone else, which of course blew the entire concept of spiritual, religious, or political unity completely out of the water and sunk that ship to the deepest ocean. So, on a personal level, are you still trying to be heard and understood and to be respected and honored and loved, etc., for your unique perspective? Well, give that up, unless you're a masochist. If you are a masochist, well, then just keep it up and have fun. Because no one except your own source will ever be able to understand you, because no one else is like you and no one else can think and feel like you. And it's no one else's job to understand you or respect you or honor you or love you, etc. That's your job alone. That's your own source's job. It's your job to understand yourself and love yourself and respect and honor yourself. And when you can do that, you will attract people who, at least to some degree, understand and respect and honor and love you, because they understand, respect, honor, and love themselves. And so they will naturally, resonate with you, connect with you, understand you to some degree. At the very least, they just like being around you, because you inspire within them their own God sourceness. You got to learn how to delight in your own unique diversity, to honor and respect and embrace and love your own unique perspective and beliefs and desires that have nothing to do with any other soul in the entire universe. You did not come to this planet, into this body, to please anyone but yourself. And it is impossible and a waste of your infinite creative power to try and please others so you can be happy, because only they have the ability to make themselves happy. You cannot make anyone else happy because you cannot think and feel for them. And no one can make you happy because no one else can think and feel for you. And your personal liberation and ultimate empowerment relies upon you understanding that. Because every time you act in certain ways to make other people happy so that they will like and love you, you give your power away to them. You give the power of your happiness away to them. You give them control over your life. That's why people are so pissed off when their lover fucks someone else and leaves them, because they gave their power away. They gave their happiness power away to that other person. And now that person is playing, so to speak, with their happiness, toying with their happiness, throwing it away as if it is a toy to be wanted or discarded tomorrow because they're bored with it. Giving the power of one's happiness away to anyone or anything is the ultimate disempowering act, something that people do every day with their relationships, something that all humanity does every day with their jobs and politics and religions, etc. They give the power of their happiness away to lovers and children and parents and relatives and bosses and companies and countries and commodities and communities and groups and religions and clergy and politics and political leaders and ideals and commandments, etc. And as soon as any of those people that we have given our happiness power away to does something that we don't like and don't want, well, of course, we are sad and angry and disappointed and feel rejected and disrespected and dishonored and stolen from and betrayed, etc. All things that are not those people's responsibility to do for you. And so it's not their fault that you feel bad. It's your fault because you gave your power away to all those other people. And your liberation and empowerment lies in not giving your happiness power away to anyone. That means being an unconditional liver, whereby you do not look towards external conditions, including external people, to be certain ways so that you can be happy. Woo! That was out of control, wasn't it? That was indeed freaking amazing. So there you go. I've just given you the master key to you getting your power back. You're welcome. I've just given you the master key that opened the cell door to your self-incarceration and has granted you the key to your freedom. Now, run as fast as you can from prison into the arms of your own source self, your own unlimited, immortal, infinite source self, and your infinite, unlimited power of joy, well-being, and abundance, and run as fast as you can into the arms of your power and your unique, priceless diversity and your unique perception and perspective and desires that are nothing like anyone else's in any universe, and stop comparing yourself to gods and prophets or celebrities or other people who appear to be happier than you or richer and more successful than you or prettier or sexier or more studly or better than you at things that you do or want to do. Instead of comparing yourself to others to denigrate yourself, learn to appreciate their talent and success, and just know that whatever they have achieved, you can also achieve and more. Because you are an unlimited creator and you 100% have the power of the entire universe to create absolutely anything you desire. Boom! So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. How could you not? It was freaking amazing. If you did enjoy it, please share it with your friends. Bless them with these amazing teachings. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. And my podcast channel, The Master Keys of Creation. Come visit me at ZaKaiRan.com for tons of fabulous goodies to help you become a conscious, deliberate creator of reality. My name is ZaKaiRan, and I'm here to help you remember that you are an unlimited master of divine creation, and you have the power and freedom to create the joy, love, well-being, and abundance you desire. Thanks again for watching my video or listening to this podcast, and I wish you immense joy and abundance on your magnificent journey of divine creation. And of course, remember to make life a holiday. Woohoo!